Most people attack blood pressure like it's a salt shaker problem. Like, if you just stop adding salt, your numbers will magically behave. But blood pressure is usually a math problem, not a morality problem. And the math is this: sodium pushes pressure up, potassium helps pull it down, and the ratio between them often tells the real story. Today I'm going to show you the overlooked lever most people ignore. And by the end, you'll have a safe, food-first 7-day plan to move your numbers, without doing anything weird, extreme, or panic. Why? Because here's the punchline: most people don't have a salt problem. They have a processed food plus low potassium problem, wearing a salt costume. First, quick refresher. Blood pressure is the force of blood pushing on your vessel walls, and your kidneys are the main thermostat controlling the fluid in that system. Sodium is like the hold water signal. Potassium is like the let sodium go signal, and it also helps your vessels relax instead of staying tense all day. So the goal isn't to become a salt-phobic monk. The goal is to stop living on a sodium-heavy diet with a potassium deficiency on top. And yes, there's nuance. If your sodium intake is sky high, cutting sodium often gives the fastest drop in blood pressure, sometimes within days. Potassium still matters, especially when your baseline potassium is low and your diet is processed. But potassium works best as part of a pattern: less sodium from packaged foods, more potassium-rich whole foods, and a better sodium-to-potassium balance. Now, before we touch food, we need to stop measuring blood pressure like it's a carnival game. One reading is a snapshot. A week of readings is data. Here's the rule: use a validated upper arm cuff, correct cuff size, and measure the same way each time. Sit quietly for at least 5 minutes, feet flat, back supported, arms supported at heart level, and take 2 readings 1 minute apart. Avoid caffeine, exercise, alcohol, and smoking for 30 minutes before measuring. And if you're consistently seeing numbers in a danger zone, especially 180 over 120, this stops being a YouTube project and becomes a call your clinician now project. Now let's talk about the biggest misconception. People think most sodium comes from the salt they add at home. For most people, that's not the main source. Most sodium comes from packaged, prepared, and restaurant foods, things like deli meats, sauces, bread, frozen meals, fast food, salty snacks, and healthy wraps that are secretly sodium burritos. So when someone says, "I barely use salt, but their BP is high," I believe them. I also believe they're getting sodium from places they don't see. Okay, potassium. Potassium is one of those nutrients people assume they're getting, until you look at the numbers and realize most people aren't. And here's the part that surprises supplement people. Most over-the-counter potassium pills are tiny, often around 99 milligrams, because higher dose potassium is treated differently for safety reasons. So if you're trying to fix blood pressure with a 99 milligrams potassium tablet, you're basically trying to fill a swimming pool with a teaspoon. Food is the lever. A medium banana is roughly 450 milligrams. A medium sweet potato can be 500 milligrams plus. Beans, potatoes, yogurt, leafy greens, tomatoes, and salmon can all be serious potassium contributors. Now, a huge safety note. If you have kidney disease, or reduced kidney function, or you're on meds that can raise potassium, like ACE inhibitors, ARBs, or potassium-sparing diuretics, you cannot play the more potassium game casually. This includes potassium-based salt substitutes. Those products can deliver a lot more potassium than people expect, and in the wrong person they can push potassium too high. So today's plan is food first, and it's built for safety. If you have kidney issues or you're on those meds, talk with your clinician before you change potassium intake meaningfully or use salt substitutes. Now let's build the 7-day experiment. This isn't fix your BP forever in a week. This is, create measurable momentum in a week, then keep the best parts. Day 1 is setup and baseline. Take morning and evening readings, 2 readings 1 minute apart, and log them. Also, do a sodium audit, without judgment. Just write down where your sodium actually comes from for one normal day: restaurant meals, sauces, deli meat, packaged snacks, convenience food, and anything that comes in a shiny bag and tastes amazing. Day 2 is the big sodium win. Cut the obvious sodium bombs. Not everything, just the biggest repeat offenders. If you remove packaged soups, deli meats, instant noodles, frozen dinners, salty sauces, and restaurant meals for a few days, many people see real movement. This is why sodium reduction often gives the fastest short-term drop, because it changes fluid balance quickly. Day 3 is potassium stacking, 2 simple add-ins. Add 1 potassium-rich food at breakfast and 1 at dinner, minimum. Breakfast options: yogurt plus fruit, a banana, or eggs with spinach and tomatoes. Dinner options: potatoes or sweet potatoes, beans or lentils, salmon, or a big leafy salad with avocado. Day 4 is the DASH plate day. DASH is basically the blood pressure pattern with the best track record: fruits, vegetables, beans, whole grains, lean protein, and low-fat dairy, plus lower sodium. So build one full plate that looks boring on Instagram but incredible on your blood vessels. Half the plate plants, a solid protein portion, a fiber-rich carb like beans or oats, and a simple fat like olive oil. Day 5 is the -1000 mg sodium challenge. You don't have to hit a perfect number, but aim to cut at least about 1000 mg from your usual day. The easiest way is not math. It's swaps. Cook one meal at home, choose unsalted or low-sodium versions of staples, and stop drinking your sodium through sauces and seasoning blends that are basically salt in cosplay. Day 6 is optional, and only for the right person. Consider a lower sodium salt strategy. This can mean using herbs, acid, garlic, and spice to make home food taste good with less salt. And for some people, again, not everyone, potassium-based salt substitutes can help. But if you have kidney disease, reduced kidney function, or you're on potassium-raising meds, this is where you pause and ask your clinician first. Day 7 is analysis day, not anxiety day. Average your readings across the week instead of obsessing over one measurement after a stressful email and a traffic jam. What you're looking for is trend movement. Lower averages, fewer spikes, and less random chaos. Even a small shift is meaningful because blood pressure risk scales with your long-term average, not your single best day. Now let's talk about what to do if the week doesn't move much. This is where most people quit, but it's actually where the diagnosis gets clearer. If your numbers barely budge, it doesn't mean the plan failed. It might mean sodium isn't your only lever. Sleep apnea, alcohol, stress load, pain, low activity, and certain meds can keep BP elevated even with good food. It can also mean you're already doing many things right. If your sodium was already low-ish and your potassium was decent, you may need other levers like weight loss, exercise, sleep consistency, or medication, because biology isn't impressed by our effort. Now, common mistakes that sabotage this whole approach. Mistake 1. Cutting salt at the table but keeping restaurant and packaged foods. Mistake 2. Trying to supplement potassium instead of eating it. Unless a clinician is guiding it, the practical move is food, not pills. Mistake 3. Using potassium salt substitutes like they're harmless. They're not harmless for everyone, and they can be potent. Mistake 4. Measuring BP inconsistently, then spiraling. If your cuff is wrong, your posture is wrong, and you measured after coffee, you didn't measure blood pressure, you measured your morning personality. Now let's make this ultra practical with a BP-friendly grocery shortlist. If you buy these foods, your sodium to potassium balance improves almost automatically. Potassium-rich staples: bananas, oranges, potatoes, sweet potatoes, beans, lentils, tomatoes, leafy greens, yogurt, milk, salmon, and avocado. Fiber staples: oats, barley, beans, lentils, chia, berries, and vegetables, because fiber supports metabolic health, and metabolic health supports blood pressure. Flavor tools that replace salt: garlic, lemon, vinegar, pepper, chili flakes, paprika, cumin, Italian herbs, and salt-free seasoning blends. And the simplest rule: if it's ultra-processed and tastes incredible, it's probably paying for that flavor in sodium. One last safety checkpoint. If you're getting readings above 180/120ths, or you have symptoms like chest pain, shortness of breath, weakness, vision changes, or trouble speaking, do not run a 7-day experiment. Get medical help. And if you're already on blood pressure meds, don't change your dose because your home readings improved for 2 days. The goal is to bring your data to your clinician so you can make safe decisions together. If this video helped, hit like and subscribe. Check the description for the tools that match today's episode, especially a reliable blood pressure monitor and our Longevity Compass Amazon KDP book. And remember the core idea. Blood pressure isn't just eat less salt. It's less sodium from processed food, more potassium-rich whole foods, and better measurements so you can see what's real. Run the 7-day plan, average your numbers, and let the data tell you which story you're in. Because when you stop guessing, you start improving.